Hi, hello. So in today's video, I will be doing my yearly redraw I do of my fan art of the Doki Doki Literature Club characters having a Christmas party. This is all going to be a part 1 of 2 because I ended up not having enough time to finish it this week due to the fact I wanted to render the crap out of it. So I really wanted to make sure it was really pretty. I didn't think there were going to be that many differences. But I realized after the sketch that my style has kind of changed a lot since last year, which I don't feel the other years. I felt yeah, my style's definitely changed, but this year I feel like my style hasn't really changed that much, and it was really crazy seeing it. The one thing I did really want to fix was that mouth. That Yuri, I don't know why I did that mouth. I think it was because I couldn't draw mouths open on a side profile. I still kind of can't, but I did do it, and I figured it out, and it looks fine. So I fixed that because that bothers me. For the pose, I decided to do more of a pose where Natsuki is trying to swerve out of the way of Sayori stealing the cupcake. So I made her flying backwards. I also drew her a lot more cartoony. I did the actual rendering part of Natsuki because all I did was line art, some cell shading, and I desaturated it a lot because I wanted it to be I wanted it to be really expressive. So, and then for everybody else, I changed up their outfits a little bit except for Natsuki. Monica got a turtleneck with the heart cut out. Yuri got a green Christmas shirt or Christmas sweater, dark green, and then Sayori got a blue snowflake sweater. But still with the wreath because I'm funny. I also added a window, which was kind of an homage to the first time I ever drew this. Or one of the times I drew this. I don't remember. Where I put in a window. So I put it in a window this time. But overall, I actually really like this. I actually really like last year's ones. I like the posing and stuff. That's why I just drew over last year's, because I don't think there was much to change about it, other than I turned Monica to be completely front-facing because she'd probably be completely trying to make herself look front-facing towards the camera because that's who Monica is as a person. I also changed up not Natsuki and Sayori, but Monica and Yuri's hairstyles. So for Yuri, I gave her half up, half down, and for Monica, I turned her ponytail into a ponytail braid, just to make it look like they kind of dressed up a little bit for their little get-together. I also replaced all the books on the table with presents, if they're opening presents and just having a good time, instead of with all the books everywhere. Because I think in my brain, when I think of friend-miss, I'm gonna call it, I think of more of my friends-miss consists of playing video games together, but I think of opening all the presents together and getting all crazy, especially if there's joke gifts are going around. I tried to put some kind of Easter eggs in there because this is the one art piece a year where I really like putting in Easter eggs and extra stuff. So if you look at the presents, I color coordinated the wrapping of who gave the present. So you can't see it just yet, but the death note is wrapped in pink and red wrapping paper. It's from Natsuki and it's to Yuri. The little present on the table that's black and purple, it's from Yuri to Natsuki. You don't see Monica's present here, but you'll see Sayori's present. It's a little cow plushie. It's based off of the cow plushie that was in her room, and it has green wrapping. It's from Monica, and Monica's present would have been blue if I depicted it here, but I didn't. I think it's more in front of her, so in my brain the camera wouldn't show the other present. I redrew the scene. I made sure to make Natsuki as ridiculous and cartoony, her face and stuff, as possible, so that it really looks like she got the crap scared out of her by Sayori jumping up really fast and trying to steal a cupcake. This is This is a like Easter egg I've been doing for years, but I always draw the cupcake that's shown in the beginning of the game that Natsuki makes, or I shouldn't say shown, it's said that Natsuki made a cupcake that looks like a bunch of cupcakes for the club that look like cats, and so every year I draw the cupcakes that look like cats as like another nod towards the game. I gave everybody hot cocoa, but I remember last year hating and rendering hot cocoa, so the only hot cocoa that you can see that I'm going to render is Monica's. I made sure the window pane, it was like a big like window, and then I added in the background, which is just a Christmassy sort of snowy background that I got off of the IBS Paint asset store with some like fog on the windows to make it look like it's really snowy. I added the lights from the last redraw, and it actually worked out. It worked out pretty well because I think it made sure the background wasn't overly complicated, but it didn't look barren. Because I think the one problem last year with the background was it looked really barren. It didn't look like they were anywhere. They looked like they were in a beige void. Because I didn't want there to be too much going on in the background, I overcompensated. For the other colors, these characters, I try to keep in mind. I don't know. There are some anime characters who I just don't see as Asian, and then there's anime characters I do see as Asian, and in my brain, all of them are Asian, so I made sure to make their skin tones more accurate to that, not like darkness or lightness, but like depending on like the undertones. They're undertones. But I've always done that ever since I've drawn them, because I don't really show, well, it's just something I do, especially when drawing like East Asian characters. I always change the tone a little bit, so because it's different than like my skin tone because I'm white, or well, I look really white. And then for their colors, mostly stayed the same. Natsuki's outfit stayed the same throughout all these years. I did a really good job designing her outfit the first time I did it, and it's never changed. Monica's outfit, I changed the bow to be red and get a pattern on it, like she picked out a special Christmas bow, and then the sweater. Yuri is wearing like a darker Christmas sweater, and then Sayori is wearing a blue sweater that coordinates with her eyes, even though her eyes aren't open. They're still in the same beige void, but there's a window. Because I couldn't figure out a nice wall color that's not white that would match all of them, so I just did beige. For this shed lighting, I wanted it to be intense because I love intense lighting. So I made sure that the light source was the Christmas lights, and like everything else was kind of like dim. I did the undercoloring first before I did anything else, and then I moved on to the like doing Natsuki. For Natsuki, I just did the line art. I wanted it to look really anime, like a slice of life when when like there's like a reaction image. That's what I was thinking of doing, or that was the idea. I might hate this next year, but right now I think it's really cute because nothing else. Only Natsuki is gonna be cartoony, but it's like a reaction image. It also stops me from having the pain of rendering 4 faces. I only have to render 3 faces. So I did the line art, which it was okay. I've learned I used to really like line art, and now I'm just kind of like, I don't like line art. So it was okay. It wasn't terrible. Then I colored her in. With the bucket tool. Very like simple, basic. I added in the eye color, the round of the eye color, and I changed it to a dark brown instead of a black. I added blush because you can't do this without blush, and then I desaturated the colors to make it look more like she's like turning pale you look pale, you're like scared or whatever. I don't know if I should keep this or if it's too much. You guys can tell me in the comments if it's too much. And then I did the cell shading, which was nice. I also kind of shaded her in a way that kind of just like forgot about the lighting, and I did this kind of on purpose to make this cartoon like kind of just like shocked fate, like make the fact that she's different even more like out there, like she's like reacting. Everyone else will be shaded accordingly, but I did that on purpose with Natsuki because I wanted her to look like out of an anime, sorta. The next thing I did was I rendered the table, because if I don't render the table before I render the people and the table, I will end up wanting to just finish the drawing, which means I will half-ass the table. And when you half-ass the table, it's bad. It always looks better when I don't half-ass the table. And I decided I was gonna paint this for the most part, so I started painting. I added shading where the items would be, and I ended up changing it a bunch. I added a wood grain texture 2 times, and I added a shadow. I forgot that Yuri was casting a shadow, and then I added a shadow like Natsuki was casting a shadow as well, and Sayori was kind of casting a shadow. So I rendered those out. I popped on a texture. I was like, no, man, it doesn't match the color. It was a process. This is not making it look like it was a process, but it was indeed a process. For the items, I did... Oh, and for the wood table, I tried to make it look as, not, realistic, but, as, shiny, like it's varnished wood as possible without going too much into it. For the items, I just colored them in. I hadn't rendered them because I was kind of just tired after doing Natsuki in the table, and it was Wednesday. So yeah, I'll probably be working on I'll probably be working on it all this week and this weekend, so that hopefully it'll be done. I'm not gonna make a part 3 or anything, so I'm gonna have to get it done by next week. But for the wrapping paper, I have to continuously go back and forth from my undercoloring to my normal one to get the colors that I need to place down the colors on the table. So you'll get to repeatedly see what terrifyingly staring into the camera Monica looks like with color, with no line art, which I realize is not that great to look at, and I am sorry. There she was for half a second though. I didn't realize I was zoomed all the way in that corner. I had no clue that she looked that deranged without line art. And she's oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. So yeah, I added the shading. I didn't add the rendering, but I started the shading as well with the items because I'm gonna do the shading and rendering separately, at least for the items. I don't know about the characters though. When I paint, I just kind of go. Or I still might do my normal art style. I'm not too sure yet because I kind of want to paint it because I really enjoy painting and it sounds like fun. So yeah, but that's my drawing. There's the shading. I did kind of cell shading. I blend to show the intense lighting. I did kind of a cell shaded blendy look. That's all I've gotten so far, so this is part 1 of my Doki Doki Literature Club redraw, and I hope you guys join me for part 2. If you're new to the channel, you should like and subscribe. If you are already subscribed, you should share to people who haven't watched this, and comment to help boost this video to other people who might want to see it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!